So Vechain is still pretty much range bound and glued to his central line at around 10-11 cent. We really need to have a look in this video what could happen next. We'll have a look at some key levels that we could use an investment, and then we'll have a look at some take profit regions and have a look see what we need to do to break above this higher range. We'll have a look at both USDT and the BTC pairings. If you are new to this channel, then please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and let's crack on. Right, so let's get cracking. This is Bitcoin chart. We will always start off with Bitcoin, just do a bit of price analysis on that, and then jump straight into the altcoin, which is Vechain, on today's video. Just first up, if you're not in my Telegram group already, go ahead and join. The link is in the pinned comment and the description. Pretty much anything to do with crypto chat, you can fire some questions in there at me, or just general crypto community. Jump in and you'll have a good crack. So, Bitcoin, we have currently rolled over and we have rejected off this high range, which we've done several times, twice here. We've had 3 taps above that. That's actually been up to 41,300 and we have rejected. Currently sat at 39,200. I'm looking for a potential setup down to this golden ratio here at 37,100. Ish, about there, yeah. So that's what I'm looking at as a potential buy, and I'm looking to potentially long that area there. I mean, I've got this long set up here. If the price does come down to it, I've got an alert set, and I'm going to open a low leverage long, maybe, I don't know, 5x, and see if we can ride it up here and target this 43k region and this 45k region. So slightly bearish on this time today on the this time frame. We do know that the Fed, I've got a few meetings today, and Powell is speaking, so they could throw some shit Bitcoins away and we could get a little bit of a sell-off. So let's see what goes on there, and I'm going to potentially look at longing that if we do come down to 3,700. There always is that potential factor that we could come down to test 35k, and we have a low range of 31k. I can't see us going any lower on that, to be honest. I think that was a bottom. We picked up 3 areas of solid liquidity each time we did bounce, so to me that was a bottom. If we ever did come back down here, I think that would act as some nice support. So that's that covered. Let's jump into Vechain. This is the USDT pair. Like I say, then we'll jump into the BTC pairing too. So we'll start off on the daily time frame. What's going on here? As you can see, we've had that major pop to the upside, all-time highs, 27 cent, bang, straight back down to, I mean, we did hit 5 cent. If you manage to pick some orders up at 5 cent, then hats off to you. That were cracking buy. But the low range here I've got is at 6.4 cent. High range up at 15.2 cent. I mean, you could, in theory, bring that high range up to the bottom of those candles there, but we'll stick with that for now. Let's just get rid of that. Actually, no, I'll just show you that Fibonacci. So if you look at this entire move here, from the bottom of that wick at 6.5 cent up to the highs, we have done that major impulse move up. We've then rejected off high range and we've come down and done that 61% retracement. If you watch my videos, I will bang on about the 618 absolute ton of times. I think that is a bottom. We've pretty much hit that 3 times, 1, 2, 3 there. And I think the next move is going to be pushing up and attacking that higher range. But like I say, it's all really dependent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin basically shits its pants today after Powell pushes out a load of crap, then we could come back down to test these regions down here. But I think 10 cent will act as some nice psychological support. Just looking at a MACD there on the daily, still in a bullish phase, and the RSI is actually around mid-ground, so it does show we have a lot of room there to grow. Dropping into 4 hour, we've actually just started a little bit of a bearish phase on a MACD, and we have had a crossover, which is a bearish crossover, so we may get a little bit of turbulent times over the next few days. Hopefully not into the weekend, because we know the weekends can be quite brutal. That is still a buy zone for me. I think if you're looking to get hold of some Vechain, you've not bought in yet, or if you're looking for a potential trade, 9.9 cent, 10 cent, I think that's a key area. If we just manipulate that right onto the bottom there, it's closed 9.8, 9.10 cent. Is that top right on? Yeah, so it is 9.8 cent. If you're looking for some buys, I would still place some orders at that level. If you just drop into the hourly though, and you might not potentially get all the way down to that region, we can put a Fibonacci on this latest move from the double bottom there, if I use the right tool, from the double bottom there, up to that top, and then you can look at 10.6 cent as well. So that could be some nice areas for us potentially fill some orders. So we've got really laddered orders from 10.6 cent all the way down to 9.8 cent, and I think those will be some cracking levels for you potentially get in on Vechain. And you could also use that as a potential trade in terms of a long. I mean, if you want to use this region down here, if you're looking for a long position, then target that 618 level, 9.8 cent entry. Stop loss not that low, have it around a 5% stop loss I usually use, and then we could go ahead and target that high range. So there's a potential 53% move there with no leverage. So that's a potential setup for you. If the market does allow, come back down, test that region, and then pop up and test that. So that is a potential trade setup. Remember though, if we do come down and lose this level, you could also open a short back down to 8.3 and maybe 6.5 cent if the market did swing that way a little bit. So that's some potential buys and a bit of a trade setup for you there. In terms of take profit regions, and if we do break out of this range bound area, then we can look at this region here at 17.6 and 20 cent, but we're not quite there yet. Like I said, I'm going to be doing an update on this asset every week, maybe once or twice. So once we do break above it, what I will do is do some further price analysis, or whenever that comes first, either the next video or if we break above that. If I break above that tomorrow, I'll jump into some more price analysis and see what's going on within the asset itself. So that's that covered. If we jump into the BTC pairing 2, start back off on the daily time frame. Do you know recently Bitcoin has been going on a bit of a charge, which has been driving this Bitcoin dominance up here. So that inevitably is taking out on the BTC pairings. I think this is going to happen. Let's just quickly cover this actually while we're here. So this is Bitcoin market dominance. We have pretty much dropped like a lead balloon with not much relief really, and then we have bounced off 40%, shot back up to 46%. I've got a potential scenario where Bitcoin goes on the charge soon, once it's had its little drop on the lower time frames. I think we might push back up to 52%. While that's happening, altcoins will be getting wrecked on the Satoshi pair, so it is a good time to potentially trade in Satoshi. So if we just look at this, what's currently going on recently, as you can see, we've had a drop off. Everything did a good drop. I mean, look at that. I'm not sure if that wick even happened. 141 sats, but dropped all the way down there. Currently sat at 227 sats, and we are starting to roll over quite substantially. I mean, if we look at this entire move, time frame daily, yeah. So if we just look at this entire move here, currently dropping down towards this 50% retracement level. I think if BTC does start going on a bit of a run, like I say, it will take it out on the Satoshi pair, so you might be able to fill some orders anywhere from 239 all the way down to 142 Satoshis. I think that could be some decent levels for you potentially to place some orders. So just monitor that. If you have some spare BTC, or if you've swapped your altcoins to BTC to potentially ride the Bitcoin wave back up, then maybe have some orders down here and see what goes on in terms of sat value. You might be lucky, you might pick up some cheap levels down there. If though, that scenario I've been saying about is absolutely bollocks, and Bitcoin just drags the entire market up with it, and Bitcoin Satoshis go up too, should we say altcoin Satoshis, then I mean, buying at this region at 269 sats could be a good entry, or 239 sats. And then if you're looking to take profits, first region there, 397, which is around 400 sats, when we look at 465 and 553. But there, I think, a little bit out of stretch at the minute. We need to be mainly looking at this area. If you're just looking at a MACD, we've now entered a bearish phase. We had that bearish cross on the moving averages. The histogram is in bearish territory, so I think this could continue for pretty much the same period as this here. And like I say, not good for Satoshi pairs, but if you're looking to accumulate, then it's decent if you manage to get some orders filled down there. Looking at RSI, it's around 30-40%, so mid-ground, that's a good potential that could drop down here into the oversold territory. You may find yourself in a nice position stacking some sats. So that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. Not much to analyse on the BTC pair, because BTC currently ruling the party and bringing that dominance back up. But in terms of USDT pairs, it's looking okay as long as we stay within this range I will be happy and remain in a bullish position. Fingers crossed we can attack that 15.2 cent and breakthrough over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that's going to do it for today's video. If you're new here, please join my Telegram channel, not my YouTube channel, my Telegram channel. Like I say, links in pinned comment and description. If you're not already, then please subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.